Today's talk is on prior to Nibbana, and I think Bhante is known to most of you all, as I see very familiar faces who attended the retreat. Let me read Bhante's biodata. Bhante Suseela is a Sri Lankan monk who has trained in the Theravada Buddhist tradition. He had completed his Bachelor of Buddhist Philosophy at Kelaniya University, Sri Lanka. As a monastic for 30 years, he had been training in pragmatic samatha and vipassana meditation methods under prominent teachers for several years. Currently, he is the spiritual director of the Alberta Buddhist Vihara Association and the chief resident monk of the Alberta Insight Meditation Center. He has been working as a Buddhist chaplain at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. Okay, and with much respect, Bhante, I invite you to give today's sermon. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I go through my details, I would like to go through you to get some insight or understanding about your path and about your goal or expectation on the path. Because otherwise it is pointless to talk about this topic. And let's talk about your experience, not the experience. What is your aim? What is your plan? Why do you practice? For what? What is your ultimate expectation of this practice? Because you can keep coming to the temples all the time. Not only this, right? There are many. And you've been attending so many programs and talks, meditations, so forth. So therefore, let's try to understand, or let's try to focus on what is actually you are seeking for. And from there, then I will manage my conversation.
Morning, Bhante.
Good morning.
Yeah, ultimately, my goal is definitely liberation.
Good.
Yes. Good morning,
Please
Bhante.
try to be brief. Yeah.
It's the same. Goal is to achieve liberation.
But don't copy. Find your own version.
Good morning, Bhante. Actually, I'm new here, so I just want to know more about Buddhism and meditations.
Good.
For me, it's peace of mind and wisdom.
Good morning, Bhante. Of course, as Buddhists, ultimately we aim for Nibbana. But based on the present status, try to be good. And the next one is have a good karmic rebirth. Because at my stage of life, it's too late to go there. So to have a good karmic rebirth as a human being and start the path.
Right.
Thank you.
Morning, Bhante. I've been only practicing meditation only for the last 2 years because I had a very hectic work life. So I think for me is to cultivate more of my anger, my defilements mostly. Yeah, to know myself. Yeah.
Good morning, Bhante. I am aiming to be more wisdom and detachment.
Good. Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. For me, I'm not very sure, but I see the words I quite like the words, so I guess I will have something to do with that words later.
Good morning, Bhante.
Morning.
I'm not sure I may be able to achieve Nibbana, but what I will do is try to be good.
Morning, Bhante.
Morning.
I really like to be free from suffering. I'm stuck at compassion, where when I see people suffer, I also suffer. So, I am having difficulty overcoming this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. I aspire to enter the stream.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning.
Of course, my ultimate aim is for the expectations for liberation, but in this very life existence, hopefully I can achieve at least the Sotapanna stage.
Good morning, Bhante. My aim is to try to be always at the here and now. I still don't understand the concept of rebirth and all that. I think it's probably take a long time for me to understand that. The current focus is on here and now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. I'm a very basic person. I like to stick to keep reminding myself, avoid evil, do good, and probably I'm at the stage of trying to purify my mind. So I thought I would do meditation. That seems to be the only way. I have no grand hopes of reaching Nibbana or anything. One step at a time. Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. Bhante, when you say you want to ask us the taste of Nibbana, so you bring my mind to memory, because I was helping my teacher who passed away already. Because for his method, 10 days retreat, he will testify to students, you will confirm this stage, that stage, and all this stage, you see. Even though I'm one of his very senior students, but I doubt it. Because for new students, they will experience a suddenly blackout, don't know why, sleep off, and then wake up. Then he tell them, you have experienced Nibbana. You see? Of course, after the sleep off, yes, wow, you see the trees outside, everything looks brighter and clearer, and the mind is clearer. But is that a Nibbana experience? Is very questionable to me. Whereas for me, I don't experience so-called blackout. I can know my mind is very clear and bright, But that spell of sudden zoop can come anytime, even during the evening chanting.
So let's discuss about
it. It's coming, I know, So I find this method, I don't know what is it lah. So I like to clarify from Bhante, what is this experience? What my ex-teacher says is a taste of Nibbana, Okay.
So let's try to figure out.
All right. Thank you, Bhante.
Morning, Bhante. Nibbana. Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. I'm actually new. Would like to learn more on Buddhism. I'm not a born Buddhist, but I have the interest, and I've read some books, basic meditation, and I would like to know more. And that's why I'm here today.
You're brand new.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Morning, Bhante. I've been your student since 2019, the Nouriship program. Actually, I learned a lot from you, but because of the lockdown, you actually not able to come back. Okay, prior to Nibbana, it's before Nibbana, is now. Now, I just don't come to listen to Dhamma talk. I do the talk. I do the action. I observe my body, speech, and mind every day. And I also radiate loving kindness to all sentient beings. When people need help, for instance, a patient of cancer actually came to me and asked whether, I'm able to help. So I lend my helping hand. Not much, but to the best of my ability. And apart from that, during rainy season, I saw this dog and cats, being dumped, and they fell down to the drain. Without thinking much, I will go all the way to the drain and rescue them. So walking the talk is very important than talking the talk. I hope with all these meritorious deeds, during my final moment, all these slideshow come back to my mind, I will capture the good one. For me to have a better rebirth, if possible human rebirth, to continue practice before I attain enlightenment. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.
Sukihontu Bhante. Bhante, my aim is to practice meditation and to achieve a higher level so that I can at least have a general taste of Nibbana. Sadhu.
Good morning, Bhante. My goal is to end the rebirth cycle in this life, hopefully. Thank you, Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante. I hope to know myself better and be a better person.
Namaste, Bhante. I'm learning, investigating, and practicing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Bhante. For me, for this life, I aim to at least develop a proper and matured Vipassana method to realize the truths, which are impermanence, non-self, and dukkha.
Namo Buddhaya. Sukihontu Bhante, I wish to become a virtuous, wise person and be free from the samsaric journey as soon as possible. Sadhu.
Sukihontu Bhante, I wish to continue purifying my mind and then get rid of all the attachments, no sufferings, and ultimately attain liberation. Thank you.
Good morning, Bhante. To attain peace and harmony inside out.
Sukihontu Bhante, my goal is to be free from suffering, to be well and happy, and to be contented in life.
Sukihontu Bhante, I would like to keep on practicing to be free from the cycle of birth and death one day.
Bhante, in this lifetime to experience Sotapanna fruition.
I'm new, so I just want to learn more. Thank you.
Thank you.
I come here is continuous from this the previous meditation, and I think should be the continuous topic. And actually, I'm seeking a guidance for my spiritual path. Yeah, that's the purpose. I continuous coming for Bhante talk.
Thank you. Okay, so it's clear, and almost everyone's answer is kind of same. Because we all expect the same achievement. End of the practice is the Nibbana, liberation. My concern about the liberation is quite different, but the same thing we all want to do. The reason that I was thinking and I was talking about this topic, because when I met many people, I would say thousands, they keep doing something else. Keep doing something else, expecting the higher attainments, and trying out some period of time, and when they do not feel enough, they just keep jumping here and there. And finally, they're just wanderers rather than applying what we have to apply. And I felt so much sadness about these people, because some of them are been cheated and misled, and they don't know what to do and where to go. They just roam around. Because they always rely on someone else. They always rely on someone else, depend on someone else. They have fear to be alone in the practice. Definitely we should have a teacher. But who should be the teacher of us? Doesn't matter which tradition you are coming from. Could be Mahayana, Theravada, Vajrayana. It doesn't matter. Who should be the teacher? The Buddha. The Buddha is the teacher. What is the guide? Dhamma. Dhamma is the guide. And who are the fellows? Sangha. So, then basically the triple gem. Other than that, nothing helps. So then, we need to understand who's my teacher. We have a guide, and then we know fellows. Remember, once the Buddha visited a village we call Kalama, if you remember the discourse, and there that the villagers, the wise people, wise beings there, the humans, and when they met the Buddha, they directly said, if you are here to condemn others' practices, teachings and emphasize yours, you may go back. And then Buddha said, friends, you have the doubt at the right place, at the right moment, which is suitable. Their backbone is so straight and firm. And Buddha asked them, what do you think? If you happen to do something, if it is unwholesome and the consequences are taking us to the unhappiness, what do you do? They said, we will not do that. Why? Because it is unwholesome. Then who decides? It is unwholesome. Who decides? Oneself, yourself. To understand the wholesome and unwholesome, you better have a knowledge about it. To understand the good and bad, you should know it better, rather than relying on someone else. Because you are an educated person, then you should know that. Let's say that if you learn the Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist practices at a college, if another layperson or a monk learn the same thing, what's the difference between these people? Everyone knows the same thing. Then should someone come and tell this is wholesome, this is unwholesome to you? So what's the use of knowledge? What's the use of your knowledge or education if you do not know what is wholesome or what is unwholesome then? Should we rely all the time on someone else to make sure that? Because we are coming from the same education. So why we worry about that then? And then they decided that is unwholesome. So then if it is unwholesome, then Buddha asked, what do you do? They said, we don't do it. If the consequences is bringing the bad consequences there, then they said, we don't do it because we know it. Then who decides? I decide. And then Buddha asked, if something is wholesome and the outcomes also happy and good, what do you do? They said, we'll do it. Who decides? We decide. I decide. Then who make the decision? Who made the decision? I did. To do that, should someone come and say this is good, this is bad? No. So we all are educated people. We know the knowledge, we have the knowledge. We know what is right, what is wrong. Then decide independently. And then when we know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is to practice and what is to let go, then start from there. And then when you are stuck with the practice, find a better teacher and get an understanding, then keep moving. So, you know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome. Because you've been learning Dhamma in this room, I think, for years now. Even I was here in 2019, then I remember some of the faces. They keep coming. So, these are the basic details for this conversation. I want to elaborate a little more after this. What is the basic wholesome deeds basically we practice in the Buddhist practices? Is that only dana, sila, and bhavana? That we call 3 wholesome deeds or meritorious deeds. That's the very basic layout or the foundation for a person. Even that we call mundane right view. Mundane right view. Why? In the secularities, in the secular level of the practice, we should have an understanding, a better view, what we are practicing, what we are doing. And then to have that layout, and then Buddha said, practice 3 wholesome deeds, meritorious deeds, which is dana, sila, bhavana. I do not take much time to describe each one of them, but you basically know what are the details. Dana is basically, it's not, the definition is dana is not only offering meals. The most important part of the meaning of dana is sabbadanang dhammadanang jinati. The biggest dana is dhammadana. But before we do dhammadana, first we have to learn. Therefore, don't be rushed to teach. First, experience yourself and then we can do it. But dhammadana doesn't mean only teaching or talking to someone else. It's about facilitating in any aspect. So, that's the biggest dana in sasana. And then, dana comes with many varieties of aspects, because Dana is not only providing meals, and it is not only for monks or nuns. Dana does not have a religion, a faith. Dana does not have a color or caste. It doesn't represent that. Dana is a common human quality. Anyone can apply. And then in any religion, they do practice some amount of gifting or presenting or offering. And they have different concepts, different expectations of offering. Then the Buddhist expectation is quite expanded expectation there, because we have two types of expectations of dana. The first one is accumulating the good karmas. Why? Mostly some of these teachers today, they try to emphasize and introduce, we shouldn't do so much meritorious deeds. Some of the teachers do. That's why I'm keep telling you should be independent. They say, why they say that? They say, if we accumulate merits, that merits extend the samsara, then we cannot liberate. My question is, if we cannot liberate in this life, if we born as a dog or a cat or a cow or a snake or whatever hungry ghost, how we continue? Animals can be pets, but they can't do this. We can think that they know they have the wisdom. They do, but not like us. So then what we do then? By listening to these teachers, if we stop all meritorious deeds, what we do, and then if the teacher has misled us, then we are on the wrong path, and then we confused, and if we are unable to come to the human planet again, and then which is suitable, most suitable place to reach Nibbana and liberate ourselves, and then if we cannot come back, then what we do? Then again we have to wait and wait and wait till we get here. So, therefore we need to be very careful. Accumulating merits is not a bad karma, it's a good karma. Let me tell this too. At the Buddha's time, there were many men and women who attained to the second stage of liberation, which is anagami or non-returner stage. Some of them are very wealthy people, rich people. They ran huge businesses, sometimes hundreds of thousands employees. And then those businesses are giant businesses. They knew they will not return as a human. But still, they continued their businesses, that because if they stopped, what happened to these old employees? What happened to these survivors? They are in jeopardy. Attainment is that person's personal achievement. He or she knows that it is only until the death. They have liberated themselves. They know they never come back. But until then, they have to continue this. And when they are in that state, they know properly how to be compassionate, love and kind and be united with everyone, be helpful for everyone. So therefore, do not misunderstand the path. And then, because of the previous and this life meritorious actions, we have enough good karma in order to practice. We're still alive. Just imagine if we go blind, what happens to us? Deaf, disabled in any way, what will happen? Is there a guarantee that you will not blind tomorrow? No, there's no guarantee. Why? That we don't know which karma is following behind, right? Right now we are alive, in a good condition. But we don't know the next moment. No need to wait for tomorrow. That can be in next few seconds. You can collapse. I can collapse. So then, will we be happy? No. Does anyone want to be blind? Deaf? No. See? You are not ready. Then we will be suffering and we will forget about the Dhamma and the everything, and we will be worrying about blindness, disability. Why? Because we are not ready to face to the reality, which we are going to talk after this conversation in the afternoon. So, there are more potentials, right, to have those coincidence for the life. Then, what is the most important moment? This moment, which we are perfectly alive. Why? Because we have done so many good karmas to have this moment. Then utilize it. And do not expect not to have these facilities as a human, because this is the only time that we have it. Don't expect not to have it. Why? You know what? Why? Because we don't want to expect. If we do the right thing will happen to us. No need to worry about get rid of those. Do your right business. Don't worry about other things. I remember someone asked about the wholesome and unwholesome at the retreat. My concern is, don't worry about the unwholesome, getting rid of unwholesome. Do the wholesomes, the unwholesome will fade away by themselves. When we spend time to worry for the unwholesomes, we don't have time to practice wholesomes. Stop worrying. And then, along with that wholesome deeds, then dana is one thing, and you may elaborate yourself. And then sila. Sila is the foundation. Without having a proper foundation, we can't build a proper building or a solid building. The building will collapse. So we should have a proper sila, or the behavioral practice. Basically, for lay people, we talk about 5 precepts. Then, not killing, not stealing, not sexually misconduct, not having false speeches, and intoxicating yourself. The new year is the best time to intoxicate yourself. But it's not only that. Even by food we can be intoxicated. Even by Dhamma we can be intoxicated. Why? Unlimited desire to research the Dhamma and craving for it more and more and more, and just running here and there can be intoxication too. We should be moderated. We should be moderated. And then, having this basic sila, actually sila is not just only not killing, not stealing. There's another way of applying it. Usually I do not teach that the further details for the beginners or for the basic practitioners. It's quite deep. Deep means we should know it gradually, not at once. So end of the day, let me tell this, end of the sila, we should be able to let go my or myself for clinging to sila in order to be free from samsara. That's the ultimate one. So let me stay here in this basic level, then you will get to know later. So if you can continue these practices, we'll see in the future. But stay here at the moment. And what is bhavana? Yes, what is meditation then? Bhavana is meditation, meditation is bhavana. So what is meditation and what is bhavana? Basically, we talked about that too. Developing or cultivating the wholesomes within. We develop wholesome qualities within, and then we let go unwholesomes. Then we have to define wholesome qualities. What are the wholesome qualities? And attending this is a wholesome too. Plus, metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. So, loving kindness, compassion, altruism, and equanimity. Dana, sila, bhavana, so forth. Those are wholesome qualities that one can practice mentally, verbally, and physically. It should be in three aspects. Not only the mental action, as the mental action, should be the verbal action and should be the physical action too. It's not enough only the mental action. Because there are some practices should be physically because it's better rather than wishing something. It should be verbal action rather than thinking or wishing for it. Then mental action most powerful sometimes at some practices than the verbal and the physical action. So therefore, it should be blended. And then this dana sila bhavana is meant to be practiced in the daily life. Dana doesn't mean that you have to give up all the belongings, putting yourself in jeopardy. No. It's a sacrifice. It doesn't matter the amount. But sila is matters because it's your own behavioral aspect. And the bhavana also, it's about your mind cultivation. You are responsible for that. That's why I keep telling, do not let the tail to shake the dog. See, if the dog shakes the tail, it's natural, it's normal. Right? But if the tail shakes the dog, is that normal or abnormal? What's that meaning? Do not let others to handle you. That means don't rely on someone else. Because people can tether us and mislead us. They can make us puppets. And then we dance. They play, we dance. Don't let it happen in this practice. I don't mind the other things. In the Dhamma, no. So, basic human qualities as dana sila bhavana, and practice humanness means the same thing. Many of us lose the humanity. Sometimes some serious practitioners do not care others when they are in serious practice. They don't smile. They don't talk. They look so pale. And there is no such inspiration when they see us. We think, oh, is that meditation? And then we don't want to back off from that people because we don't feel anything energetic there. Why? They're so faded away and pale. There's no smile. My question is, if someone realizes the reality, that person is the most beautiful person in the world. Most happiest person in the world. Why? That person have a free mind and can smile out loud. But when we see serious meditators, oh, it's horrific. What the heck? It shouldn't be. Meditators are most beautiful people in the world. But some of the teachers and the followers are so yeah. Don't be too serious. Be serious with your practice, but don't be serious with others. Just be. So sometimes they don't want to touch kids, they don't want to engage with things. Decide what is suitable and not suitable, unsuitable, and then be free. So as a layperson, can you run away from your family belonging, family obligations? No. Even the Sotapanna person did not run away. A Sakadagami, the once returner person, did not run away from the family. They maintained their family life too. What's the importance of this? Once you realized accurately, then you know how to balance things. You know how to deal with that. Remember, there's a story, you might heard this before, a couple. The lady is Sotapanna, man is a hunter. Their job is, their survival is the hunting. Husband, every morning husband goes for hunting. And the wife is Sotapanna, which is stream enterer in the path, the first stage of Dhamma. And then Dhamma means the liberation. And she prepares the bow and the arrows and everything which is needs for hunting. And then husband hunts and bring it back, and wife prepares the flesh and the meat to sell. It's kind of contradictory practice, but she knows what she's doing. If we say that is not suitable job for them, then are we going to find a job for them? If they only know that, are we going to find a job for them? So therefore, it's not our business though. And then another time, a person was there who was a drunkard. And then once Buddha said, he entered to the Sotapanna stage, stream entered. Then the villagers, everyone began to say, oh, if a drunken person can attain Sotapanna, who else cannot? Then that was a big disaster there, huge gossip. But Buddha did not answer for the gossip, because what he has said, it said. He know what happened. That person was an alcoholic. But after a while he quit it. And then he started to practice. Then he entered to the path. By the time he entered in the practice, he was overcome that his behavior. That's why he was able to do it. But the smell is still among the people. They thought, oh, he's still an alcoholic, and how come he attained Sotapanna? So, then Buddha claimed that he as a Sotapanna person because he knows his sila, his virtues. Therefore, we don't need to rely on someone else's. It's your own practice. I'm keep telling, try to be independent in your practice. And then, what are the basic needs in the practice? Because rather than being worried for the liberation, we have to prepare ourselves here. Let me try to share a story, a metaphor, but I don't know how to convert into English. I'm very good in Sinhala for that story. A person is going somewhere else, traveling, and that person is thirsty. He looked for water, and then he noticed a well, water well. He reached the well, and he saw a basket near the well, and with the short rope, and then he looked into the well, and the water is in depth. He can't reach. The rope and the basket is very short. There are two concerns, two questions. Either he can just walk around and find another piece of rope and extend the existing one and reach the water, or he could lift the well to the basket. What is the most easiest and suitable thing, according to you? Should he extend the rope or should he lift the well? Extend the rope. Why is that? It's practical. That's a metaphor. The well and the water in the depth is the Dhamma. The Dhamma is very, very deep. It's not as simple as we think. But also it is not deep as we think. It's simple too. And then that person, the person is the practitioner. Also, the basket and the short rope is another example for that. If that person is wise enough, he has to walk around and extend the rope, the basket to the water. If he is not wise enough, that person will try to lift the well up to the basket level. Extending the rope is, or the short rope and the basket means that person's wisdom. What's the meaning of that? His wisdom is very short. Can't reach the water. That means can't reach the Dhamma. It's not long enough. In that situation, in that case, mostly what we do, we try to jump here and there to find approachable Dhamma. Does that make sense? Let's say, if you do not understand this conversation, you will find another one which is fitting into you. We already have a pre-mindset, and then we seek speakers for that settings. We are not truth seekers. We are seeking something that can fit to my own aspects. We just say, oh, that's too deep, it doesn't work. That's too simple, it doesn't work. That's how we find them. But my concern is, if the Dhamma is deep, it is deep. We can't change. Then what actually that person should do, he should walk around and find a rope and extend the basket, which means rather than running here and there, jumping here and there to seek the Dhamma, one should extend or expand their wisdom, which can reach deep Dhamma. That means our foolishness is bigger than the Dhamma sometimes. We have to get rid of that foolishness, unwiseness, which means we have to extend the rope, the basket, to the water. If we lift the well, or if we try to adjust the Dhamma, cut off the Dhamma according to my knowledge level, what will happen to the Dhamma? Dhamma will disappear, or Dhamma will be destroyed. Why? Then, if the Dhamma is shortened and cut off, we remove the portions, my understanding also will be very short. It's not deep. I do not have a proper understanding. Why? We have cut it off to our level of understanding, which is should not happen. And then if we did that, we'll keep running in the samsara, we will not shorten the samsara. Why? We have harm to the Dhamma plus oneself. Does that make sense? Yeah. The knowledge craving for knowledge is so harmful. So many details is harmful. No need to learn all 84,000 teachings to liberate yourself. Simply what you know, apply it. There are 13 steps of scaling the Dhamma. We have to scale down the Dhamma. What we have to do first? Buddha says, I don't recall all the 13 steps, but let me tell the beginning steps there. First, faithfully we approach a teacher, but with no conclusion. Biggest mistake of us is we make a conclusion prior to approach. The biggest mistake. With the popularity or with the dignity of the teacher, we make the decision prior to that. We should not do. Until we taste the food, we never know what is the food is. So, faithfully we approach the teacher. Saddha jata upasankamati. But we have no conclusion. We just approach. Upasankamitva pairupasati, we approach and associate the person first. Just get around, hang around, get to know. And then, pairupasitva sotang odahati. Once we associated the person, while associating, we open the ears. For what? To listen to the teacher. Sotang odahitva dhamman sunati. While opening the ears, we listen to the teaching. Sutta dhamman dhareti. By listening the Dhamma, we absorb what he teaches. Still there is no conclusion. First listen, then absorb. Get the details. Get the details. So the next step is Datanam Dhammam Upaparikkati. What you have absorbed or learned from that person, then try to investigate, analyze. Analytical aspect is different than what you think in the Dhamma. First try to investigate and search about the Dhamma and what he has taught. Is it true or false? Is it fitting into the practice or not? Then who has the scale? You have the scale. Just put it in the scale and measure it. And then find the suitability of the practice, the teaching. Whether this teaching is suit or not. So once you understood that, oh, this is suitable, then what way to do? No need to run to the teacher or the messenger. Start to practice. Start to apply. Once you, all of a sudden when you start to apply it, don't make the conclusion. There's no conclusion yet. And then, while you are observing or applying it, you will understand step by step, this is suitable to continue or not. Then scale down. Who make the decision? I do. To be honest, you know what? It can be my pride, but I don't listen to many teachers. I don't listen to many speakers. Not everyone is teachers. And I don't listen to many speakers, lay or monastics. Why? I want to protect myself. I don't want to spoil myself. It doesn't mean you should not attend to the Dhamma sessions, you should. But don't make conclusions. Don't labelize yourself. That's why I don't have followers. I don't carry followers. Because it's not my style. No need to anyone to follow me or follow the Buddha. We are disciples of the Buddha, not someone else's. So, and then when you apply, when you practice by yourself, you know what is to let go, what is to keep. Then compare the Dhamma to that qualities of the Dhamma. So, swakhato, once you realize yourself by your own understanding, swakhato, Dhamma is well taught, well explained. Who realized? I did. You did. Sanditthiko, the outcome is the practice is visible in this very moment. When you apply, when you practice meditation, the concentration arose. It's here and now. You experienced it. I didn't bring it. You purified yourself. You saw the outcome of it. Sanditthiko. Akaliko. The outcome of Dhamma or the Dhamma is timeless. Why? That concentration had in the past, present and the future as well. How? Depending on the application. So then, Opanayiko, that leads for the Nibbana. Then that should understand by the wise. This can understand only by the wise person, not unwise. I don't know you whether heard or not this statement. Buddha has taught this Dhamma is for wise, not for unwise. I'm not afraid of saying those because I don't want to cheat. Dhamma is only for wise people, not for unwise. Only the wise one understand this. Okay. So, then that is how we scale down the teaching or the understanding. This is how we have to start and go. So now you already have started. Let me ask this too. We, instead of dreaming for Nibbana, we have a dream only. And even when you start to talk about, you just detail out everything here and there, there's no need. If the understanding is perfect, it's direct, straightforward. No need details. So, that's why I'm keep telling, do not fight. Do your job here instead of fighting for it. It's useless to fight. If you do not do your job here, there is no such achievement. What I wanted to ask is, you listen to the Dhamma, you know Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, Enlightenment Factors, all sort of Dhamma you know. Maybe not few of them, but everyone knows. How many of you meditate on these Dhamma sermons once you're done? Once it's done. How you meditate? What you meditate on? Let's say, we talk about the death, then, or suffering. Have you sat and closed your eyes and focused on suffering, what I'm going through? After the sermon, or all these details are in the books. And then come to the next one, next meditation session, and do whatever they say. That is not the practice. It's just attendance, attending to things, do something, spend time. It's not the application. Once you heard, oh, this life is subject to suffering or change, then we detail out the suffering, the birth, the sicknesses, the death, and sort of suffering, right? And then we sit and get that tiny topic into the mind, and we start to investigate by ourselves inside. Oh, what is jati? What is birth? What is sicknesses? What is aging? What is death? What is suffering? Then we talk to ourselves until we digest it. How many of you do it? Very good. That's the meditation. No need to wait for a teacher to give an object to focus on. What's the point of doing those otherwise? So we need to meditate on the Dhamma sermons. Sermons means the accurate details we take and plug. See that steps, approach the teacher and associate and open the ears and listen and absorb the details and try to apply. That's the application. That's the practice. Then continue it. Once you investigate yourself, you will know I should continue or not, how we should do it, unless there is no understanding. Remember the Bojjhangas, right? 7 enlightenment factors. Sati, what is next? Dhamma Vichaya, then Virya. Yeah. So what is Dhamma Vichaya? How? Listening to talks and writing down? What is the analysis? How we do? Analysis is vipassana. So that's why I told you, the analytical aspect is different than noting down things. You can keep writing, but it's okay to take notes, but still, as long as we do not apply or investigate, there's nothing. Just the books, the notes. And then, we have to analyze, investigate the Dhamma. So, mindfully we investigate, analyze, and then we know how to apply it. Once we analyze it, the energy arises. Why? Because we want to continue it. Those are not 7 classes, like when we talk about 7 enlightenment factors, those are not 7 classes that we have to attend. When you observe the breath, 7 factors are happening there. When you apply metta, 7 factors are happening there. It's all in one. Not the separate classes that we have to take once a week. Come to the class, but try to apply yourself. Okay, so you know how to maintain the practice and how frequent you have to do it. So do not try to single out or frame the spiritual life and the secular life. It's just the same lifestyle. So sometimes we can be virtuous at the temple and be immoral outside. No, that is not the practice. We honestly being virtuous and morally conduct in the entire life. And don't forget that being vegetarian or wearing white cloth is not sila. Sila does not define from what you eat, what you wear. Sila defines how you talk, what you act on. That's the basic interpretation for sila. You can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter for us for the practice. You can wear whatever you want. I don't mind whether you are naked or wearing clothes. It's up to you. The practice is yourself. No need to adjust the world or guide the world. Guide yourself. Mind your own businesses. Don't worry about others. They can be naked or wearing clothes. That doesn't matter. I don't mind. Sila doesn't define in that case, in that way. Mind your words, mind your physical action. That's the most important part, and they both leads by the mind. Then the mind should be in the steady path or with the wholesome aspect. Okay, so time is so flying. This is the final detail that I want to emphasize here. This comes in Metta Sutta. The person who seeks for Nibbana, if you remember in the Metta Sutta, Karaniya Metta Sutta, it's not only a discourse that we should keep reciting or chanting. It's a better practice to apply to Nibbana. These are the qualities, 14 qualities that a person must have in order to move on the path. It includes everything. Should be able, sakko, which means we should be able to practice dana, sila, bhavana And then we have to uplift, enhance that qualities. And so should be able, or we should be skillful for that abilities. And the uju, upright, means we should be direct, straightforward. We like to be pretended, right? Most of the time. I don't know how many of you are attending to the afternoon class, but how many of you would like to be truthful? Almost everyone, I know. Nobody wants to be cheated. But do you actually accept the reality? Do you? I'm going to ask the same question in the afternoon too. So just imagine. Someone asks, Bhante, am I looks good? Then I say, no. Will that person happy? If you are truly accept the reality and you ask me, Bhante, am I looks good? I say, to be honest, no. Will you be happy? Oh, you look so pale and ugly, broken teeth, wrinkled skin. Will you be happy? Then what reality are you talking about? What type of reality are you talking about? So you're so looks old. Then you don't happy. You're not happy. So what's the reality? We are not ready to face to the reality. We like to be pretended. Like to be pretended. Then I say, in the meditation, do not talk. Don't disturb others. But you talk, I chase you away. Will you be happy? You will never come to the temple. Maybe you will change your faith. Is that the reality? No. So we need to be corrected. Rather than being that, we just change the temple. Right? We change the temple, we change the teacher, we hate the teacher. And I did it, but you get upset with entire temple. Is that the reality that we want? See who we are then. We are not ready to face to the reality. We don't like the straightforwardness. We don't like the straightforwardness. We just wanted to be pretended. So then what kind of liberation are you looking for? Where is that? It is not in this Buddha Sasana. Neither other Buddha Sasanas. So perfectly, in this upright means the second and the third one is, we should be able to tolerate many things. We should be straightforward. But here's the thing. When you express your feelings to someone else, though you are straightforward and very firm in the Dhamma, we have to be careful. Buddha says, even though you are saying the truth, if it is harmful for the person or the surrounding, if it is not the right time, right place, right one, don't tell that truth. Does that make sense? Yeah. Though it is right, don't tell it if it is not the right time, right place, right person. That will bring a great harm. But chasing you away from the meditation retreat, if you talk, it is not harmful, it's only harm to you, it's not harm to the majority. I don't hesitate to do that. If you're disturbing. I'm just telling this, but will act someone sometimes too. So being straightforward is need. And then once you accepted the Dhamma, I'm in this Dhamma, I should follow and I should liberate myself. Once you set up your goal, you should be firmly, steadily in that practice without jumping here and there. That's the uprightness, or the steadiness. What is suvacha? The fourth one, well spoken. That means we should be very obedient. Need to be, suvacha means we are ready to listen to the Dhamma. If you follow a teacher, if you are not obedient to the teacher, it's hard to deal with. And then teacher says something and you do something else. It's not. And Buddha directly said, do what I have said exactly, then you will be liberated. If you do not follow what I said, there's no guarantee. And then we need to be well spoken. It's not our speeches, it's about what we listened from the teacher. And then gentle. We should be very, mudu means gentle and being soft. It doesn't mean being soft or being humble, being like a doormat. Doesn't mean that we have to cross over ourselves. I don't let it happen to me. Don't put you down. Don't let others to put you down too. Don't others to let you drive. Because this your own life, own practice. But be gentle, be humble with everyone, because we need to be down to the earth. We should be very much down to the earth in order to practice. Being tough is another aspect. As a teacher, I do. The toughness I do practice most of the time with practitioners. Otherwise, can't handle. You know how to parenting, right? I don't know to teach that. So, and then contentment, santussaka. So, we should be easily satisfied. We should try to reduce insatiableness. We are not mostly satisfied, even with the Dhamma too. So this unsatisfactoriness drives us here and there. That delays the liberation of the practice. Why? We don't have time to practice, but we just keep running to find the details. Once we're done, we don't have time. That a person tried to travel around the world to find the beginning and the end of the world. He never did it. He couldn't find it. So therefore, stop researching too much, because try to apply, try to be satisfied with what you have, especially not only the secular lifestyle, in the spirituality too. It's better to elaborate things wisely rather than loading yourself with details, so much details. Usually I do not recommend to meditate by books or records from the audios or videos. So harmful. Ask later why. And easily supported. Subhara, easily fed. Some beings are, it's not too easy to feed. They're not satisfied sometimes. Those are qualities. And then whatever you use, I mean, it can be food, it can be cloth, it can be your, whatever the accommodation what you have. That doesn't mean we should live on the road, in a shelter. We should be, because whatever the fruits that come to us because of our previous meritorious deeds and the good karmas, we can't stop that. They will come. But we try to be satisfied and easily fed with what we have. And then, Appakicca number 9, less obligated. We have so many obligations. So many things we occupied. It's not, mostly those are not helpful for the practice, but necessarily we have to do things because we live in a society with obligations. Definitely we have to do, but we need to be careful. And sometimes you think being a monastic is easier than being a lay person, then we'll have more enough time to practice. But I would say, I rather be in the lay community, being as a monastic, because the monastic life is more hectic now. That we have made it. That's why I maintain my style with the dealing with the community. You can text me, I don't reply. You can phone me, I don't answer. Why? That's my own time, I don't want to answer. So I answer whenever I want, whenever I feel good. Otherwise, I don't want to get hurt anyone. Get hurt me or hurt anyone else. And then that's how my life. Sometimes I was asked, I phoned last night because I want to inform a death. Then I asked, did you call me to make him alive again? If death is death, let's die. I can't do anything. Then let me sleep. Then I will wake up and respond to that. That person will not come back whether I stay up or not. I'm not being cruel, but when I sleep, I'm sleeping. I find my freedom. I don't want anyone to disturb. Turn off your phone and sleep. Most of the people who go abroad and they keep on the phone and keep blaming in the morning, I couldn't sleep because number of people called me last night. Who asked to answer? Their job is calling, my job is not answering. This is a simple matter. This is how we mostly distracted. And therefore, have less obligations. Everything is not an obligation. We think it's better, but it's good, but no need to. But you know necessities and unnecessities, right? Then decide what to do and what not to do. And Sallahukavutti, number 10, simple living. Stop the complications, so many complications, the life. One after another. We find troubles to live with. Once someone said, Bhante, I can't focus. I said, then stop seeking for troubles and accepting others' issues to you. Then he said, no, I don't feel that I'm alive if I do not have any issues from others or mine. Then how I can answer? The only answer is then mind your own business. That was my answer. Mind your own business, don't tell to me. If you ask for an advice, if I say something, this is suitable to you and apply it, without applying, don't ask any further advices. Useless. I don't spend my time. I don't waste my time for that. If you ask for meditation, If I say, without applying it, don't talk to me, Bhante, what should I do? First apply it and get to know. Understand it. If you have further questions or inquiries, then talk. If you go to a doctor and you are treated, if you do not consume the medication, don't go to the doctor. What's the point? It's not just a style that we just do something else thinking that we are spiritual. Try to be authentic. And controlling the senses, number 11, Santindriya, what is that? We should be able to protect our 5 senses in order to develop the mind. And prudent, Nipaka, need to be very wise in the practice, even in the general life too, because we can be cheated or misled. Be wise. That's about try to avoid delusion, ignorance. Need to be wise. And carefulness, not being reckless. So appagabba is very rare word in Pali, and it's hard to find the meanings. I tried so many times. This is what I came across with, that carefulness and not being reckless. There are so many other synonyms which is not suitable sometimes. And the number 14 is Kulesu ananugiddo, less attachments with the families. That is especially for monastics, not for you. Otherwise you will ruin your New Year celebrations. Means that when you are attending to a program like a retreat, let's say you came for 2 days, and then you have to let go your family while you are observing that. That's a part of stay away from them, because they will not die without having you for a day. Even dead, what to do? We can't control. So therefore, for me personally, I have very tiny bit of attachment with my parents and siblings. Well, I don't have any connection with my siblings. I have let them go, and I don't mind. And I have just tiny bit of attachment with my mother, and I also have let go father too. It's me. Don't be surprised. It's me. It's my right. You have your right. Practice it. It doesn't mean that we are not. That I'm careless. I do, but they are not in my shoulder. I don't carry them. Why? I don't need to. They are still alive, and they are able to work. They are able to survive. And why should I worry? One person in Canada once is an engineer. He said, Bhante, I'm so much worried about my mother. She's sick, and my siblings are taking care of her. But I so much worrying. Then I said, why don't you go to Sri Lanka and spend some time with her? No, Bhante, I can't go. Then again he keeps saying the same thing. It's kind of annoying then. Then I try to practice my straightforwardness among the monks and the lay people. Then I ask, what the heck you are talking about? If you can't go, but you see the value, if you send money, the currency is bigger than here, then they can survive easily. It's a good support. Then he said, Bhante, I feel that's not enough. Then I asked, what are you talking about? Leaving everything behind, why don't you go to Sri Lanka and spend time with her? Rather than crying here. Then he stopped crying. They just try to pretend that I am so much caring. Nonsense. It's not the truth. They try to be pretended among the monks and the people that I'm so much caring. Then that carefulness or the caring should practically apply rather than talking here and there. Then if you are detached, maintain the detachment. If you are attached, try to have less attachments. But don't be rude, don't be tough as I do, but see, without freeing from many things, not at once, gradually, there is no such liberation. So my advice is, rather than fighting for liberation, try to be a human first. Try to be a good follower first. Try to practice yourself. Try to understand yourself. I like to have very brand new people because they are less spoiled in the practice. And I like to his explanation that depending on one's age, we don't know whether we can liberate or not in this life, but still I need good karma to be a human and come back to this practice. I don't have enough time to explain. It's 20 to 12. But I want to emphasize the karma that we are coming from. Why we be a human? Because of the sila, not the dana. We are being a human because not the dana, because of the sila. And we have a luxurious life or the somewhat happy life with the needness and the requisite, and that means we have been doing dana and that's the outcome of it. In different degrees. Could be the middle class person, or could be a rich person, or whatever you have, that is your income, outcome. Be satisfied with that. And then if you do more, you will get more. And then why we are related to the Buddhist practices, Buddha Sasana, because as a human, we have been following the Buddha Sasana in the previous lives. That's why we are directly here. Why we have the openness and the wisdom in order to practice that? Because we had practiced the wisdom before. Now we have the open eyes. We are very open to the practice. That's the karma. Just imagine the people who neglect this and people who avoid this, skip this, that means they have been skipping this practice in their entire samsaric cycle. Still they keep skipping and finding excuses to stay away from this. And then that follows as a karma. And no one born as a Buddhist. Everyone born as a human. And then wherever they want, they can go. And we don't convert anyone else to the Buddhism. Not me. What I do, I teach. In Canada, in America, I don't meet any Buddhists most of the time. Locals are not Buddhists. All Christians. I don't convert. I don't even try to. Even if they ask to convert, I don't encourage them to convert. I encourage them to be a human. Do goods. Once they are ready, they will be converted by themselves. It's not my job. Today, we have a challenge to convert Buddhists into Buddhism. Because none of the Buddhist practices the true teachings. We have to convert Buddhist to the Buddhist practice, not the others. That's my challenge. Okay, I'll stop. I'll allow you to ask a couple of questions within 10 minutes.
Thank you, Bhante. From what I heard and what I learned so far, practicing Buddhism is a slow and gradual process, as we mentioned. And for lay people especially, it's going to be very tough because we are bombarded always with our five senses. To really walk the path, we have to really observe these five senses. But I think in real life it's quite difficult. And I think there's one Bhante say that to really practice Vipassana, you really have to go to monastic life, which I think I tend to agree. I think if you try to practice Vipassana in the daily life, it does not going to be a monk or full-time practicing it. It's going to be very tough. Not sure whether you agree with that thought.
Well, here's the thing. The sasana or the teaching or the practice is being deep gradually. See the ocean. At the beginning is the beach, and it getting deep step by step, right? So therefore, what we just talk and what we just share is no need to do everything at once. Even though we talk to a whole bunch of people, our abilities and our understanding is way different. Even spouses, even parents and children is completely different because it's our own understanding. No one can make sense for us. And then being away from all the distraction is a dream. We can't do it. I know lay people, lay practitioners have more obligations. That's why we need to maintain as much as we can, we need to maintain the mindfulness or awareness and the goodness as a human. And try to expand your wisdom depending on your ability. Actually, Vipassana is not that hard as we think. I think mostly you think that the practicing, if you think practicing is as a sitting practice or being free from everything, which never happens. And concern is when we do daily activities, how much are we aware of that? How much we mindful of that? And how much are we careful with those things? And how many things are useless and useful? Can we sort them out? Because everything is not useful. Also, everything is not useless. And how much attachments do we have with those? Those are the matters. We know you have kids and grandkids and your family and entire the relationships we need to maintain. End of the day, whatever the association doesn't matter if we have less worries, less frustration. And that's the matter. If we doesn't matter how attached to your relations, but if you are stressful, frustrated, why we still keeping those? I don't ask you to divorce. I don't ask you to stay away from the relationships. But still we need to maintain our happiness, our calmness. And it's not that easy, it's not that hard, but there's no direct answer for that too. Because I can keep talking, but still we have to find our own way to minimize our distractions.
Could I ask if upright has to do with body, speech, and mind being aligned? I mean,
that's one part with sitting practice, but here with the number 2 and the number 3 is being straightforward and be steady with the practice. That means if we know the truth, we don't convert ourselves into another thing. Like if we accept the Buddha as my teacher, I am being straightforward with the Buddha, and it is being upright. It is being perfectly upright, because we don't shift, we don't change the practice. If we know the Dhamma well, that's being upright. Then if we know this samsara is subject to suffering, and then if we know the Four Noble Truth, we know we have to realize the Four Noble Truth, and we are being straightforward with that. That's the upright, or being uju or suju. It's not about the physical appearance, it's about how we accept it, the practice. Because sometimes we change, right? We know things, but with simple incidents we change. See that if I ask you to leave the room, you will never come back to the room. That means you just vanished and with unhappiness. You never learn your mistake. Being upright means we learn ourselves. And we try to be perfect. And we don't change. We learn our mistakes. And we make ourselves correct.
Can we all kindly kneel down and pay our respects to Bhante? Thank you, Bhante, for your insightful experience.
So happy New Year to everyone, and hope to see you all sometime soon.